Good morning, dear students. And today we are going to continue with our discussion of Act 3, Scene 2. In this particular video, we are going to discuss from line number 178 to 198. Immediately before this extract, we saw that Portia made a long speech to Bassanio, and she expressed her joy at the success of Bassanio. And he also tells Bassanio that all the belongings of Portia, her mansion, her wealth, and Portia herself, now belongs to Bassanio. It is at this particular moment that Bassanio speaks these words. He says, "Madam, you have bereft me of all words. Only my blood speaks to you in my veins. And there is such confusion in my pass, as after some oration, fairly spoke by a beloved prince, there doth appear among the buzzing pleased multitude, where every something, being blent together, turns to a wild of nothing, save of joy, expressed and not expressed. But when this ring parts from these fingers, then parts life from hence. Oh, then be bold to say, Bassanio is dead." Now here Bassanio frankly admits before Portia that the words of Portia have made it impossible for him to say anything. In fact, Bassanio is left speechless, and he is unable to utter a single word to express his feelings, his emotions, because of the fair speech that is made by Portia. It appears to him that only his blood speaks to Portia while flowing through his veins. In other words, what he means to say here is that he could only realize, could only feel that the blood in his body has begun to circulate more quickly than before, because of the excitement of success in choosing the right casket and because of the emotional speech of Portia. And now he experiences much confusion in his faculties. And this confusion that he experiences in his faculty is compared to the confusion that crops up among the pleased multitude immediately after the graceful speech which is made by a prince. So the confusion that is experienced by the large multitude of people who have listened to a speech made gracefully by a beloved prince. The people, after listening to their prince's speech, feel immensely pleased, and they start talking among themselves in whispers. Their feelings get so mixed up at that particular time that they cannot be described in words or in precise terms. So in other words, Bassanio means to say here that there is so much confusion in his thoughts, like the one that follows after a fine speech of a beloved prince among a murmuring, delighted audience. Now when the prince delivers his speech, every word uttered by the prince, every feeling of the prince is blended together with something else, and it produces a wild confusion expressing nothing. But what matters the most is that there is joy among the people, and this joy of the people finds only inarticulate expression, that is, expressed and not expressed. However, Bassanio also admits that the uttermost feeling at that time in his heart is one of extremely joy which does not find some expression, though he is not able to clearly express those feelings. And then he speaks about the ring which Portia has gifted him as a token of her love. In fact, he assures Portia that he would never part with that ring. And he tells Portia that if it ever happens that Bassanio parts with that ring, then it would mean that life has left his body. And at that time, Portia can confidently say that he has ceased to exist in the world. In other words, he says that the only way in which he could part with that ring is his death. He will part only with that ring at his death. That means what? He promises Portia that he would not part with that ring as long as he is alive. Now, all the other attendants of Portia who were present in the room and who were nervously, anxiously watching at the exploit of Bassanio, they were waiting anxiously to see the outcome of the lottery of casket. They are also extremely delighted. They are also very much elated to see that Bassanio has succeeded in making the right choice of the casket. So Nerissa also expresses her joy and congratulates Portia on materializing her love. So she congratulates even Bassanio as well. She says, "My lord and lady, it is now our time that have stood by and seen our wishes prosper, to cry good joy, my lord and lady." So she says that now it is their turn to congratulate them. They have been standing there and they have been anxiously waiting to see the outcome of the choice of casket. And they were witness to the sight of their wishes being fulfilled. So they also wished that Portia and Bassanio should be united in the bond of marriage. So they saw their wishes come true right in front of their eyes. So therefore they also congratulate both Portia and Bassanio. And then Gratiano also does not want to be left behind. So he also comes forward to congratulate both Bassanio and Portia. He says, "My lord Bassanio and my gentle lady, I wish you all the joy that you can wish, for I am sure you can wish none from me. And when your honors mean to solemnize the bargain of your youth, I do beseech you, even at that time I may be married too." So he tells Bassanio that my lord Bassanio, and he addresses Portia as his kind-hearted lady, and he wishes them all happiness in their life that they can ever desire. And at the same time he says that he is certain that they cannot desire more happiness than Gratiano wishes for them. Or in other words, we can say that Gratiano is sure that they are already experiencing so much happiness in their life that they do not want to wish any more of it. And he also makes an earnest request to Bassanio. He tells Bassanio, he requested Bassanio that when Bassanio and Portia decide to solemnize their love in the bond of marriage, or to have the ceremony of their marriage performed, he would also like to get married at the same time. So Gratiano here requested Bassanio that when Bassanio gets married with Portia, Gratiano would also like to get married at that same moment. And Bassanio also grants this request of Gratiano. He says that he would certainly allow him to get married, and he would allow Gratiano wholeheartedly to get married, provided that he could find a woman to marry with. So the condition is that if Gratiano is able to find a woman to marry with, then Bassanio assures him that even Graciano would get married at the same moment when Bassanio gets married with Portia. So we do till here. In the next video we'll be discussing further. Please don't forget to like my video and do subscribe my channel. Thank you and stay blessed.